Welcome. All right. You got that screen ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. That's our intro music.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation on the AOScan Mobile. We are so excited to dive into this information with you tonight and grateful to be sharing space with you here. Tonight, we're going to go over the AOScan technology, the different programs, as well as we have some special guest speakers joining us tonight to share with you their personal experience and testimonies. My name is Hannah Craig. I'm joined tonight by Juliana Malili and Steph Warner, and the three of us will be presenting for you tonight. I just want to give a little background. Well, first let me do some oh my gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's just make sure everybody stays muted. And then also, if you have a question, please go ahead and enter it into the chat. And we have a lot of time at the end of this presentation to answer your questions. So as we go along, if you think of things, put them in the chat, and then we'll follow up with them at the end. So I just want to give a brief background about us. We are Team Taurus. Last January, myself, Steph, Juliana, and Stacy linked arms together after each experiencing the AOScan Mobile personally for several months. We decided that we couldn't keep this tool to ourselves anymore, and we were ready to share it with the world. So we decided to create Team Taurus with a mission of empowering you to put your health back into your hands, doing so by raising the vibration of this planet one frequency at a time. And so I am proud to say that over the last year, we have built a team to over 500 people, and we have helped thousands of humans and animals through the AOScan mobile device. It has been a beautiful experience to witness, and I know I speak for all of us when I say our hearts are just overflowing with gratitude, not only for the founder and inventor of this technology, Lauren Swenson, the company Solex, but everybody who has trusted us and has taken the quantum leap with us over the last year, helping so many, making this world a better place. So without further ado, let's get started and talk a little bit about what is energy, Juliana.
There we go, mute, unmuted. Everything is energy. It all comes down to energy. We're going to do a little quick history lesson going back to Nikola Tesla. He said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And as we know, he was well ahead of his time with his inventions and his vision for what could happen with using energy, using frequency, but he was onto it. He was starting to see how you could even level buildings with the right frequency. And he said this, you know, we've got to pay attention. Like, what was he up to? What did that mean? How could it be practical for us? And then followed by Albert Einstein, who said, future medicine is the medicine of frequencies. Wait, what? You know, I mean, after that came Star Trek. Like, and then we saw like these different Trekkie devices where that possibility that we could scan bodies and then send optimizing or medicinal type frequencies. Albert Einstein was talking about that, knowing this is where we're going to head. And then we jump over to Dr. Royal Rife. In 1934, he helped 16 cancer patients become cancer-free using his beam ray technology, which was frequencies. And he had created some amazing, phenomenal devices. If you've ever heard of a Rife machine or a Rife device, that was foundational work to now what we're doing. With this device we're about to show you tonight, we gathered information from those who came before. Also, after Dr. Royal Rife, the Russian cosmonauts in the 70s were using frequencies, sending them to space to support their astronauts. And they had created a catalog of all these frequencies. So unfortunately though, like this tech, like cancer-free patients, was not popular when it was coming out, because at the same time the other industries, pharmaceutical industry, was taking off, and having people become cancer-free with a non-invasive, simple method was not helpful. So his laboratories were burned to the ground. That's why we're like, well, wait a second, if this happened, why aren't we hearing about it? Well, as we know, like easy ways of bringing transformation to the body can be detrimental to certain industries. Anyway, another wonderful scientist, Dr. Masaru Emoto, did wonderful experiments on water, where he imprinted the name or a word onto water, or played sounds or songs to the water and then froze it right after. So you can see how water would take on this crystalline shape that was either super beautiful, and you can see even like the design of the universe within these, or total chaos. So here you can see the literal effects of frequencies. So we are all here, we've gathered because we love root cause, right? Who loves to find the root cause? You're tired of addressing symptoms, tired of chasing symptoms. We want to see resolution. And you know what the root of the root of the root is? It's energy. It all comes down to this frequency energy. So that's what we are passionate with using this new technology. So every cell and organ in the body has their own distinctive vibrational frequency or oscillation. So when these oscillations are disrupted, whether by injury, diet, stress, or emotion, it results in a disruption of that biological function. When this isn't addressed, it can bring about fatigue, depression, illness, disease, and even death. So over the past 20 years, these vibrational frequencies have been isolated, identified, and cataloged. This is what brings us to the AO Scan Mobile. So again, so glad you're here tonight to learn about this. This is, I believe, a game-changing device. It is an educational tool that identifies specific frequencies in the human body using a database of more than 120,000 different frequencies. These frequencies are the same in every person. And just like Hannah said, this launched just a year ago, January. So before that, you could get this, it was a larger device, a huge like computer, for $38,000. And in fact, you can still buy that if you would like to do that. But I prefer the mobile version that I can carry with me anywhere I go, and a lot better price. We'll get to that here at the end. This is compact, and it houses 90% of the technology of the larger device. So it is so exciting. Since this launched a year ago, we've seen how that has just increased, because we've done millions of scans over this past year as more and more people are using this, and that has helped to advance this technology even faster than the founder expected it to go. So we're going to take a tour. Imagine we're going into a quantum wellness center. And just like you go into your favorite rec center, a place to work out, you go to your favorite room on a regular basis. You may discover that as we're going through tonight. We're also going to share some experiences with these different rooms within the device. If you find one that you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, put it in the chat. I'd love to hear which one resonates with you. Like, oh, I'd love to use this for my daughter or for my cousin, or I have a client with that issue right now. I'd love to hear what that is. If you have this moment of, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever, if there's nothing more that it has, this is enough, that's fine. Camp on that thought, because we're going to bring you through a whole lot of good stuff tonight. So this first one, we're going to go into the inner voice room. I love this. It is based on a recording of your voice. It's a 10-second recording. And from that, the technology is able to isolate and analyze 2,000 frequencies across a 12-note octave in your vocal tone, pitch, and pattern. So this identifies the emotional imbalances, then creates harmonizing music to balance your emotional state using musical tones, radionics, and other frequencies. So it's like having, if you're familiar with Hertz frequencies, there's so many new sound therapies that we know to be healing the human body. But this is where we from a scan of the voice find out the exact imbalances, then create the audio acoustics that are needed to help that body right then. And besides, like, just 10 seconds recording, and immediately you get these recordings to listen to, you also get full reports on with a lot of insight to the body. You can see what region of the body it's affecting, the dominating imbalance, like low self-esteem versus self-accepting. You can see a color. That's what those glasses are for. That's where we use color therapy as well. We're about the whole person as much as we can to support, because this is a light frequency. Color does affect us, affect our mood, affect our emotions. So that also can assist in supporting you, helping create more balance. Then you can see exactly what emotions are in play there, as well as some imbalances and suggestions. This fall on my scans, I kept seeing, it was saying chiropractic. I needed chiropractic care. And that was like, okay, fine. And finally I did go for an appointment, and that was exactly what my body needed. So it gives these suggestions. If you see them more than once, then okay, the body's trying to tell you something. You may want to take action on that. So I do have Lindsay here tonight, and she wanted to share a bit about the inner voice.
Hey. Yeah, my nephew is 5 years old, and he has what they call RADS, which is reactive attachment disorder. So he has a hard time bonding emotionally with his mom, or really anybody in his family. And so I told my sister, I was like, let's just try this for a week and see what happens. And it was really easy, especially for children, because she just recorded his voice when he got up just for 10 seconds. And then she texted that to me. And right away I could put it into the device. And then of course it would generate the inner voice for her, but specifically the sound therapy is what we were going for. And so I emailed that directly to her. So this whole process only took a few minutes. And then she would have him listen to the sounds in the morning, and then maybe again throughout the day. And he kind of has more of a like hyperactive energy and very impulsive about everything. So we were really curious to see what could happen after kind of helping balance that inner voice. And so some of the results I thought were pretty amazing. My sister, after one day, was like, I'm sold, because he would actually go down for his nap without a fight. And that never happened. And he would sleep completely, like go to sleep during his nap, which he usually didn't sleep. He just played and messed around and stuff for that hour. So he would actually sleep, which we all know what rest does for you as well, especially with that much energy as a child. Like he needs his rest. And because of the good naps, I think it made him overall just a more calm child. And then one of the things that was really cool is like he doesn't snuggle or anything like that. And so one day, and he did continue to ask for the sounds. He would say, Mom, I want to listen to my sounds. And then one day he actually crawled up in the chair during the day with her, and she read to him and got to spend that time. So it really allowed them to bond in a way that they never have before. And he's 5. So I was really blessed just by seeing this happen in my own family, and have been reaching out to other friends of mine who I know this would help their children. So anyway, that's our testimony.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. It is so cool. We love seeing how this affects kids. We could actually go around the room right now with different stories with how it affects kids. So grateful. And, you know, kids are neutral. They're not like skeptics or, you know, it's either going to create more balance or not. I love it. So, Hannah, would you like to share?
I would, I'm ready. So let's jump into the next program on the AOScan mobile device. We call this the Vital Scan. Think of this as the scan of your energetic scan of your blood biology. So in real time, what is happening with your blood biology? It's going to scan different categories like a whole CBC panel, vitamins, micro, macro minerals, digestive enzymes, amino acids. It does a whole panel of your hormones. It's going to go over different toxins such as molds and heavy metals. It will give you a report on what bacteria, fungi, parasites, and viruses are energetically in or out of balance in your body. It even will pick up on 2 of the most common MTHFR gene mutations. And so it's a very in-depth scan of your blood biology in real time. So not only is it going to identify what is energetically out of balance, but then based on that database that Juliana had mentioned, it's going to send the optimizing frequencies back to your body using biofeedback to help shift those things that were out of balance back into a more balanced homeostatic state. So not only is this an educational tool because it's letting you know what's going on, but also it's helping you shift back into a more harmonious place. All of these programs work together synergistically to create harmony within body, mind, and spirit. And that is one of the most beautiful things about this device. I mean, I think we all have our favorite programs, but they all have their purpose. And when we use them together on the AOScan mobile, that is when you will really see those positive shifts in body, mind, and spirit. So I love the Vital Scan. It's part of, I mean, we all use it daily. And if you go to the next slide for me, Juliana, I'll just show you an example of the report. So once you scan yourself, it's going to, on the gray column, show you what is energetically in and out of balance. The sample here is going over the macro and micro minerals in your body. And then the white column is after we have sent, or after the device has sent the optimizing frequencies. So you can see everything shifted that was red out of balance to green back into balance. Now, depending on how serious the issue is, something can go back and forth, being imbalanced or out of balance. Of course, things like what we eat, how we think, how we move our body, all impact the results of this scan. But it's a great way to just know what's going on in your body instead of having to guess, do I need to take more copper or less copper? Do I need more iron? Do I need to increase my vitamin D? Do I need to go see my physician because my hormones are all out of whack? So it really helps people narrow down what is causing their physical symptoms, and then also be able to help support themselves. So that is the Vital Scan. It's priceless to be able to know what's going on in your blood instantaneously. It doesn't replace, of course, a blood draw, but some may say it's more accurate because it's real time versus having that blood removed from your body, sitting in a tube, different people touching it, manipulating it. And so pretty powerful stuff here with the Vital Scan. All right, so Steph is going to talk next about the comprehensive scan.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to share with you about the comprehensive scan because this one is pretty unique. This is going to take the data from the inner voice, where we were identifying the emotions that were out of balance. And it's going to take the data from the vital scan, where we identified the energetic imbalances in your blood biology. And it's going to compare those and then see how those imbalances are affecting your physical anatomy. So it's very similar to getting an MRI or CT scan. This program provides a comprehensive look at how all of this is now coming together to affect you physically. It includes multiple options for custom scanning and optimizing areas that you may need more support. So in the comprehensive scan, after you complete the scan and you get the report, this is what the report looks like, and you can see how things are in now a number range, with 5 being optimized, 9 being out of range, and 1s being out of range. So we can always explain to you a little more in detail what all these numbers mean, but ideally you would want to see as much green and blue in your report as possible. And you can see here, just with the liver alone, how specific these scans get with identifying all of these different areas in your body. It really is so powerful and so incredible. I just did a scan for a new client the other day, and it was so accurate in identifying things that were happening in her body that I had no idea about. And certain areas that she experienced pain, or that she, had an organ removed. And the comprehensive report was able to identify some of those for her. So yeah, I think now we're just going to share a couple of testimonies. I think Stacy's going to share with us a testimony on her experience using the AOScan and these programs.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. Love you guys. I've been using this device for over a year, and I'm a nurse, and so I geek out on the details. And so with the comprehensive and the vitals, it's just blows my mind how much education it brings. And so I can give you an example. What's so wild with this technology is that, as Juliana was talking in the beginning, it's like everything starts with energy. And so, even though this is not a diagnostic tool, it's going to pick up on stuff sometimes, a lot of times, a lot quicker than what your traditional blood work and all that stuff is going to pick up on. And I'll give you an example on just using it with myself. I do the Easy Scan every day, which actually incorporates the vitals and the comprehensive. And what happens in the reports is it'll tell you the stuff that the AOScan can't put back into range. And I'll give you an example of just something happened with me recently. Fibroadenoma of the breast has been showing up daily as red and red. And I didn't think anything of it. And lo and behold, I'm doing a breast exam recently, and I found a lump in my breast. And so it's been picking this up for a while, and I didn't think anything of it. And so for me, that's like, holy cow. And so now I'm going to go to a practitioner to have that checked out. But what's so interesting is when you have this device and you're using it on a daily basis, it is so amazing what it can tell you. I mean, literally, if, it'll tell me that, it was giving me recently, a couple months ago, zinc. Zinc was out of range consistently. And it's like, oh, do I need to supplement with zinc? And I started taking zinc, and guess what? Zinc is not showing up on that anymore. And things like collagen, I didn't know that I needed a collagen supplement. And when I started, collagen index was always off. And it's like, oh, okay. When I started taking a collagen supplement, now it's not showing up on that scan any longer. And so it's just so beautiful how it picks stuff up. And even with these reports and with these scans, when you think about with me as a practitioner, I have clients that have issues in certain areas of their body. We can target those certain areas. And so I have a client who has digestive issues. We can scan and optimize her digestive system. We can scan and optimize her lymphatic system. We can target certain areas of the body. I know somebody who has issues with his shoulder. We can scan the arteries and the veins and the bones, all of that stuff in that area of the body, and actually target to that. And so this just becomes not only an educational tool, but a way to target certain areas. And so it's just amazing.
It is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Stacy. That's great. And Steph, did you want to share about the supplement library?
I'm actually going to do that one. So did you know that, well, maybe you do know, we don't need to be taking all our supplements every day, but how do we really know what our body needs unless we have a tool like the AOScan Mobile to help us? So one of the programs on the AOScan Mobile is called the Supplement Library, and you are able to scan in your supplements. You just take your device with a nice little glass and put your supplements in there to scan the energetic signature of your supplements, your oils, your homeopathic remedies into the device. And then when you're doing that scan, that easy scan you've heard us talk about, the device is going to tell you what is the most resonance for your body for that day. So it turns out we don't need to take our D3 every day, or we don't need to take our B complex every day. This tool has helped save me so much money because I'm not taking all the things all day long. I'm listening to what the AOScan is telling me, and not only am I feeling better because I'm taking what's in resonance with my body, but I'm also saving a lot of money. Those of you who invest in supplements and quality supplements, you know that's a big portion of your budget. And so this has been a great way for me to really just understand what my body needs most, and other things that I can take a pause on, I don't need right now. So it's been a great tool, and this automatically does that once you enter in your supplements. All right, so Steph's going to go over that easy scan we've been chatting.
Okay. Yeah, Julie, can you pause that and start it over again? So I am going to talk about the easy scan. So what is the easy scan? The easy scan combines the inner voice scan, vital scan, comprehensive, and supplement library into one quick tap that only takes 5 minutes to conduct all of those scans. So everything that we just talked about, we now can do with this easy scan. And this is what the report looks like. It covers everything from your vitals, your chakras. It gives descriptions about each of these, shows your meridians, and explains how those might be affecting you emotionally or physically. This is more of the comprehensive report. You can tap on each item and you'll get a definition of what that means for you. So truly, such a powerful educational tool to help us understand. You can even tap on the name of an area of the body, see exactly where it is located. And what's so powerful about this is, you can use this with your kids and teach them about the anatomy of their body. You can take this to a chiropractor and show them, this is exactly where I'm having this problem. Or as a chiropractor or a doctor, you can show your clients what's going on in their bodies. So Easy Scan, I would say, is the most popular scan for most people because it incorporates so many of these scans all at once. This is what I personally do every single day. And I love using it because it only takes 5 minutes. It instantly generates the 4 balancing harmonic songs. I can tap a button and listen to those on a continuous loop. And you can select, you can also see the supplements that it is recommending for you that day. So right there, that area where you can imprint the supplement or the energy of those particular homeopathics. So Easy Scan is by far one of our favorite pieces of this wellness center in your hand. So Julie, why don't we move on and explain what SEFI is and how it works?
Yeah, I love the Easy Scan. I'm a big fan, but I also, it's a tie between doing the Easy Scan and SEFI because I think of going into this room, we'll call it a room, this subtle energy frequency imprinter. And I think of it like a library. You can go through and pick out a specific frequency that is aimed at a specific imbalance. So this is what we like to call the powerhouse of the device. It's using scalar wave technology, so you can imprint 2 items like you were just describing, or you can broadcast those frequencies to anyone around the world. This is where we did first acquire that library from the Russians, who were using that on those astronauts. And that laid the foundation for this technology. So we're using those type of frequencies that were being broadcast into space, but now you have access to them in your own library of all these different specific areas. We have one library that's just over 450 imbalances, anything from asthma to COVID or COVID mutations, or headaches or migraines or knee pain or neck pain. Another one addresses more emotional issues. And then we have the frequencies of like Bach flower remedies in there, as well as quantum homeopathic. So you can make your own homeopathic remedies at home as needed. And then be able to have them on command, like we just saw, where it scans to show you exactly the ones that you need to imprint or use for that day out of those quantum homeopathics. So I wanted to show you how you can imprint to an item. First, we're doing a glass of water here. We clear the frequencies from it. I'm erasing the frequencies from that glass of water. You can also use a crystal bracelet. We also have some amazing jewelry by this company. Gold and silver hold a frequency really well. After you've cleared the energy from it, then you can choose your frequency and then imprint it. If you imprint it to water, I recommend consuming that water in the next few hours. You don't want to let that sit forever. Whereas like jewelry, bracelets, like stones, that's going to hold a frequency for a week to a couple weeks. And then we also have some other amazing jewelry that is called Ionix, and that holds a frequency for up to a month. So there is so many things you can do with SEFI. I also love that you can create a playlist. When a year ago this time, we could only run one frequency at a time. We'd have to exit out of the categories and then just run one frequency. Now we can create a specific playlist and then play exactly what that person needs. It's also great for keeping your clients straight so that you know, oh, we're going to broadcast these frequencies to them today. So I'd love to hear from a couple people who wanted to share about SEFI. Abby and Robin, whoever wants to go first, if you want to unmute yourself. I know that you had something to share.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Abby.
Hi, hello everyone. Thanks for having me. Really excited to share my story. I've been blown away by this device. Hannah's helped me so much with it, and I'm so grateful for it. So much that I want one of my own. One of the main things that she used the device on me for is I was actually diagnosed with an anxiety disorder years ago. And then at some point, it just, got worse and worse. And a couple years ago, I started having major panic attacks, and that was new to me, and that was very scary. And, I know there was, the cause of it was a lot of, internal things. And as I've been working on those, Hannah started, learning more about this device and telling me about it. And so she started using it on me, and I was just blown away. I was, taking some pharmaceutical drugs on and off for my panic attacks because they had gotten so bad. For me, sometimes I would be perfectly fine, and I, wasn't anxious about anything. And I would basically go from a 0 to 10 within minutes, and just not having control over what my body was doing. And it's, I know a lot of people out there have had these, so you can probably relate, but it's very scary. And I would have all the symptoms, just, basically feeling that sense of doom, like I was dying. I would start to shake. And, it was very scary. And, the one thing I didn't want to do, because I had been on something when I was in my young 20s, is keep relying on these drugs. I think, they have their place in time when needed. But for me, they had, it has so many side effects. And one of the things is when I would take them, I just, for a couple of days, I would just feel so sluggish and lethargic and very tired and, brain fog. And, I'm a busy mom. I have two beautiful little boys and I homeschool and have, so much to do that, that's just hard to feel that way. So although I was thankful for those, to have that feeling, all those, symptoms for days after, it just, it's just something that I did not like. And I didn't want to have to keep relying on those when I would have those panic attacks. So she started using the device on me, and basically, when I would have a panic attack or feeling anxiety, I would just feel like basically how the drugs made me feel, like the sense of calm, and everything would just feel so balanced. And it was amazing because it was doing basically, what I would feel with those, but without having the side effects. And I just was like, this is amazing. And another thing that really blew me away was years ago, I actually had some blood work done. I do have an MTHFR mutation, and I know Hannah just briefly mentioned that. And I hadn't said anything to her. And so one time she showed me the scan, and it actually had identified that I had that and the specific type. And that's what really was like the jaw-dropping moment for me, because I knew it was correct because I had blood work done years ago. And so I knew I had that type, and it was a perfect match. So that was just, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, I'm just so thankful for it because it's just helped me so much through the anxiety and the panic attacks that I've experienced. I'm happy to say that my anxiety is doing so much better. I haven't actually had a panic attack in 5 months. So I'm just so excited and thankful for it. And I just love how, like you guys have mentioned, that it gives you like real time information. I think that's so cool and important. So yeah, that's my little story. But yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Abby. It's massive. It's massive. And it's like we can't guarantee absolute results, but we just stay in this place of let's just see, let's just try frequencies and see what can happen, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
cool.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm so thankful.
So good.
Yeah.
And is Robin around? Are you
I'm
ready?
here. I'm here.
Hey, Robin.
What's so funny about doing a testimonial today is I'm going to talk a little bit how the AO scan has helped me remain balanced. I'm pretty emotional being, and other energies affect me quite a bit. And so I struggled with depression for a really long time as an assistant principal, just because you're surrounded with negativity, because that's what you do. You put out fires in that job. And so my sister-in-law, Stephanie, she's here, and brother were really worried about me because I changed as a person, and they wanted me to just feel better and be myself. What's funny is today at work, I felt really silenced, and now my throat hurts. And so I'm running frequencies for my throat. And that just goes to show that like the energy around us does affect us. And so I'm doing a throat chakra and some other things right now just to get my throat cleared. Anyway, beyond that, last year, Stephanie had gotten the device. It was pretty new to her. And I think within 30 minutes of her telling me about it, we got online and purchased me one. And I didn't know a ton about it then. And I'm still learning so much now just through you guys. And so, I searched for a lot of things. I'm a Reiki master, and I've done emotion code with you, Juliana. And all of those things really helped me get aligned, but I needed something throughout the day that when I was triggered, I could just kind of, after a tough conversation with a student or just whatever it is that triggers you. So like right now I'm running one because I knew I was triggered, and we're like, okay, well, we're going to have to get our voice back and feel like we can talk. So I use the easy scan about 3 times a day, morning, evening, and night. When I go to bed, or about an hour before I go to bed, I start a frequency playlist on sleep just to get me in the mood, because my brain doesn't shut off sometimes. When I wake up, I put on a wake up playlist and get in the shower to get myself energized. On my way to work, I play a balance playlist just to get me there and ready to go. And then depending on my scans throughout the day, I'll send myself different frequencies and listen to the harmonics. I now work in an office that it's an open air, so I have my headset on all the time, so no one has any idea that I'm listening to those all the time. I have some other playlists called Peace, just when I just need some peace. I have one playlist titled Today, and it's just kind of based off of my scans and way I'm feeling and the way my intuition pushes me on what I need to play for myself. And then I've had some friends have the big C word here recently, and so I've sent them frequencies to help them with the symptoms, and have had really great feedback from them that, symptoms last about 2 or 3 days once the frequencies begin. My niece struggles with bedtime and stomach aches, and so when I'm sending her frequencies at night, she seems to do really well. And my sister can tell me that, can you please keep sending those this week? We're really struggling. It's just been a life changer for me. And now I just want to share it with people, because I love all the energy healing things out there, and this is something that helps me get through the day when I can't set an appointment. So
That's awesome, Robin. Thank you for sharing. I haven't done that many easy scans per day. That's impressive. I've got to at least test it out.
Well, it says there's a midday and an evening and a morning, so I'm like, go for it.
Yeah, the quick scan. Yeah. Those little ones, yeah, those are great to use. So awesome. So thank you. I just love this, and this is what we do within our groups. We have Facebook groups, and we're often sharing our favorite playlists. Common what everybody's doing is recovery from COVID. There's great, you just combine certain frequencies and then adjust those according to someone's needs or symptoms. So Hannah, do you want to share?
I'm ready. So we have been talking a lot about how amazing this device is, of course, but also how it can help all the humans in the world. But what about our fur babies? We love them too, and we want them to be well and happy and enjoying life and balance just like us. So the AO Scan Mobile is able to scan and optimize and send frequencies to your dog, your cats, and your horses. There are plans to branch out to other animals, but right now we're keeping it to those 3. And so if you think about it, you take, just like you do with yourself, you take your dog to the vet, you have blood work done, you usually have to put them on some sort of, medication for flea and tick. I can tell you that I have worked with my holistic veterinarian, and she has seen people's animals have great results using this. One example she gave me just the other day, I actually rescued a dog off the street and brought him in for her to look him over. And she was talking to me about another dog who got really sick, and they didn't know why, but his liver enzymes were out of control and he was starting to have health problems. And so this lady owns an AO scan, and she started to send him frequencies, scan him, optimize him, and within days his liver enzymes were back to being stable. The other thing with this dog that I rescued, Sweet Boy, needed to be neutered. He's 2 years old. As they get older, apparently that process is a little more invasive and not as easy to recover from. But this dog, after 12 hours of me sending him frequencies like Health Strength Recovery, Arnica Montana to help with swelling and pain, and several other frequencies, there's one for surgery and trauma, back to himself. In fact, I felt like he was more perky and spry than he was before the surgery, pouncing around, running, playing with my dog. And meanwhile, she's telling me he needs to rest for 7 days, minimal exercise. And I'm like, what in the hell am I going to keep this dog from moving? He's living his best life. So even I mean, I think we all can say on a daily basis, we are impressed and still amazed by how this device is able to help people, even though we have seen what it does day in and day out. We're like, oh, look at that. Oh, wow. And we're just so thrilled to be able to share this with you all in the world. And so don't leave out your pets. They will love this too. All right, Steph, you ready to jump into it?
Yeah, so we have shared so much amazing information with you tonight, and I'm sure you have this burning question of like, okay, well, it used to cost $38,000, so what's the price tag now? And Solex is the most generous company that I feel so proud to be a part of, because they truly want every person in America, even around the world, to have access to this technology, because they believe, and so do we, that it truly will make a difference in your life. So the AOScan mobile version that has 95% and soon to be even more of what was in the original system is now available for a discounted price of only $495. And that doesn't matter if you just want to be a preferred client. You don't have to do anything to sign up or get that discount. That is available to you if you want to be a quantum living advocate like me and Hannah and Juliana and Stacy are. That is a $49 enrollment fee for 1 year. And then you also get the same discount for the device. Now, to access and have access to all of the programs and systems and frequencies that we shared with you tonight, there is a monthly subscription, and it only costs $5 a day. So I don't know about you, but it cost me a heck of a lot more to go to a med spa. It's only $149 for each month to access this. And you can not only use it for yourself, but you can share it with your whole family, your friends, your clients. You can create an unlimited amount of profiles once you have the device in your hands. And like you heard here tonight, it really is so powerful. And there is a business opportunity connected with it. We have created an amazing business for ourselves in the last year by sharing this with others, educating others about this technology that is available and how they can use it to help themselves find more balance, more peace, and just more awareness around their own bodies, and then gives you the power to make the decisions that you feel are best, and do that in conjunction with your doctor. So we do always like to say that this device does not replace anything that you're already doing. It is simply a supplement. And it is never going to take away from anything else that you have been working on, but it fills in the gaps when you can't be going to your physician or getting chiropractor appointments or getting massage therapy every single day. This is what can support you in those in-between places. So yeah, I think we also just wanted to share a little bit about the training and support. If you are to join our team, whether you are a preferred client or a quantum living advocate, we have so many different ways to connect with you and help you to understand how this works. Solex provides a free basic training online that walks you through every single step of the device, how to use it and troubleshoot. And then we also have weekly team calls. We have a team Facebook group where we're sharing questions, sharing playlists, offering suggestions. There's weekly corporate calls by Solex every Wednesday night, and we also do monthly online presentations just like this one. So you are not alone, and we do have an amazing team of several hundred people who are anywhere from practitioners to doctors, to moms and parents who just want to help their families, to energy healers. We really have an amazing community, and everyone is willing to share and help and support. So we hope that you will join us. And if you are interested in learning more, getting an introductory scan, or purchasing a device, reach out to the person who invited you here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oops. Oh, my mute is off. Cool. And we do like to add this as well. Like, as you're taking all this in, think about it. Like, what do you currently have that easily gives you insight into your body with detailed reports in just minutes? And if someone were to go into the hospital, do you have a way of supporting them energetically? Of course, by prayer, number one, but wouldn't it be great to have a frequency directed at a specific thing that they're dealing with? And what kind of health issues could potentially be avoided if you optimize your body daily with frequencies? So again, yes, please experience it for yourself. And I'd like to add this little disclaimer that no representation contained in these materials is intended as medical advice and should not be used for diagnosis or medical treatment. The AO Scan Mobile is not a medical device. It does not diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. It is an educational device. And in my personal experience, it's also gently educating the very frequencies of my body, and that for the better. So I love that. So we have some time for Q&A, and we can, if you haven't put anything in the chat yet, any questions, please do. But this is at its core, this is about us, as we're all learning, taking more personal responsibility for our health. And we have a very powerful tool being able to get that insight right here with the AO scan. So
yeah, so I would like to share what Christy added in the chat. She was saying that her chiropractor now asks her what shows up on her scan during her appointments. And her first major experience with her AO scan was a day that she had nerve pain due to subluxations that caused nausea and a faint feeling. She scanned and it pinpointed the area in her body. She was absolutely blown away. She optimized, then ran SEFI all night and woke up without any pain. For the first time when she experienced this, she was able to function and even drive herself to her chiropractic appointment. And it just confirmed the AO scan for her husband. We all know husbands are the first ones to be skeptical about this type of stuff. But that's an amazing testimony. So thank you so much for sharing. Let's see.
Great.
Yeah, so we do, someone asked about training or certification opportunity. Absolutely. Solex released its first phase 1 certification just this past fall. So basic training is included with your device, and it's an amazing tool for you to use when you're first getting started. But if you want to take it to the next level, phase 1 is a certification that you can do if you're a practitioner, especially a naturopath or some other designations of practitioner. You can actually get continuing education units for that. And there's going to be 3 phases available so that you can really advance in your knowledge and understanding of the device, how to read the reports, and then also create protocols and figure out how to support your clients with it. So that's going to be amazing. And those other 2 levels are coming later this year, I think in the spring or summer. And the frequencies, how do they work? Yes, so frequencies are scalar wave technology and Rife waves. And scalar waves are actually beyond the EMF spectrum. They do not have any electromagnetism to them. Scalar waves operate in the quantum field. So there is no time or space or distance. And when scalar waves are created, they are generated and sent to a target. When you create your profile with the device, your energy signature is identified when you do those first few scans. And then anytime you broadcast frequencies to yourself under your profile, they are sent directly to you and only you. It's just a really amazing technology that is above many of our heads. There's a lot of quantum mechanics involved, but all of us have experienced the benefits of it. And that's what makes it so amazing. Awesome. Yeah, so that certification phase 1 is only $149. And then the other phases will be different price points because those will be geared towards doctors and practitioners who are wanting to use some of the additional aspects of the device. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight and for all of your questions. And like I said before, make sure that you connect with the person who invited you and get an introductory scan done at the very least, or join our Quantum Essentials group on Facebook. We would love to have you join us.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
Yes, thank you. Good to have you all here. We will be posting a recording of this. I'll put the link on the Facebook group in the comments there, so you can share this with anyone you like. So thank you for being here tonight.
Good night, everyone.
Have a great evening.